Corrado tuning trick. If your VR6 Corrado has sat for a long time without turning it on, and you want to be able to warm it up slowly, not quite under load, but not letting it idle, which is the best way to warm up a motor that's been sitting for a long time, to loosen up those valves, get those hydraulic lifters recharged, and make sure everything is working the way it should. I actually picked this up from watching a classic car channel on YouTube focused on restoring old Ferrari V12s. And the mechanic there, with over 50 years of experience, showed that about 1500 RPM is the ideal. If you just set the throttle, leave it there, and let the motor warm up very slowly all the way up to temperature. So how do you do that on a VR6 without sitting there with your foot on it, gingerly watching the pedal for 20 minutes? Or if you don't have one of those cool throttle tools that press it down for you. Well, if you happen to have any 3M packing tape and you've got one of these left over, it just so happens that the little tongue here is the perfect size to stick in between the throttle body stop and the throttle body buffer. And that will lift your throttle cable just enough to let it sit at 1200 RPM, which is just perfect. Not quite 1500, but it's certainly at the fast idle speed of 800 RPM and the slow idle speed of 600 RPM. This is way above that, but not going to be revving, not going to be racing the motor. It's going to give you a nice slow warm-up speed, and that will get you going. So I'm going to show you where it is at on the actual motor on the VR6 if you are not familiar. Right there, you can see where. So right here is your throttle body, and you can see where I've just very gently slid this piece of plastic in between the throttle body and the bumper underneath. Lifting it does rev your motor a little bit, but I haven't run my motor in a while, so I'm letting it warm up to speed very slowly, and this gives me that very nice, ideal right about 1200 RPM there. So, not my idea, stole it from a Ferrari mechanic, but it works really nicely. Hope that helps you out. And here we can see I've got the motor now warmed all the way up to temperature. The low temperature thermostat has opened. I am getting fan cycling 188 degrees, so I can take out that throttle body cable spacer, whatever we're going to call it there, spudger, and now we've got the ability to check. All right, we have happy VR6 noises. Good day.